confirmation of the grid. Takahashi, Yuki Ito, Inagaki on row 1, and Japanese in the top 4 positions. Haga, Fitri Ashraf, and Ahmed Yunistera. Let's not write him off too quickly.
Ahmad Yunistera from Indonesia, who had a good race in Indonesia last month. Then we have Koyama, Okamura, Mark Atkinson in row 3.
Ratapong, Haslan Shah, and Akuna Tsubasa, another Japanese on row 4.
Then we have Tiger Hada, Rapita Topan Sucipto, and Timas Eki Pratama in row 5.
Sucipto came off as well on row 6. Then on to row 7, got Anupab Atsushi from Japan and Anucha.
So in row 8 is Yohei Ika Nami and Callum Spring from Australia, Akichai Chiang Wong from Thailand, 24th on the grid.
Malaysia's Mahanab Akmal Isham and Ahmed Afif Amran complete the 26 riders who will be competing in this race number 1 of the SuperSports 600cc. When they go off, we are underway for race number 1 of the SuperSports 600, and we are away. Inagaki is off to a very decent start. In the middle, though, we've also got Yuki Ito trying to get himself right through the middle, and Takahashi just getting himself outside. Haga leads first, and Takahashi, out of danger, is in 3rd place.
Just like I suspected that Noriyuki Haga, who had a good start in this race, now leading in front of the group. It's important to be in front, and he has that advantage in front of Takahashi and Yuki Ito.
So Haga, quite right, you said experience, and he made sure he came through from the 2nd row of the grid. Takahashi, though, is right on his tail, and right on his back wheel is Yuki Ito, and Takahashi goes through beautifully.
Yeah, Takahashi from the inside of Haga, and Yuki Ito also from the inside of Haga now, right behind Takahashi. And it's a great start as well for Ahmad Yudhishthira, who's currently 4th behind the top Japanese rider.
Well, Takahashi and Ito went hammer and tongs at it in qualification, and it looks like they're going to be going for it as well, because already they've just got themselves a few meters over even Haga, who made that terrific start, and Takahashi and Ito are eating up the ground.
Well, looking at the where is Fitri Rosali, there's a crash for the rider behind the group. I believe this is perhaps one of the wildcard riders. So number 72 and number 76, that is Yuki Takahashi, and Yuki is the 1st and 2nd, Inagaki, and then we have a number 33, Ahmad Yudhishthira.
Yeah, Yudhishthira, keep an eye on him. He's had a solid season. He's always there or thereabouts, and he's just at the middle of that little group. But already you're seeing Takahashi and Ito. They are the quality riders that we've seen so far in qualifying, and they are showing that as well. That is a lead of more than a second, and we're only 3/4 of the way through the first lap.
Well, still early in the race. This is the first lap. You can see the spray from the rear of the
from the rear
of the bike. From the rear of the bike, and it's difficult. And as you can see, Yuki Ito is then pushing very hard behind Takahashi.
So Takahashi leads, Yuki Ito right on his rear wheel, and look at that speed as they almost wobble. Oh God, they're working hard to keep control of that bike, and eventually they get into the racing line. So it's Takahashi who leads the way, 0.42 ahead of Ito. Haga, Inagaki, Koyama are 3, 4, 5. Ahmad Yudhishthira and Haslan Shah up to 7. Dimas Eki in 8th.
Yeah, it's a good start by Haslan Shah as well. Currently 7 behind Ahmad Yudhishthira, 6 and 7, and the rest are top 5 riders, all Japanese. Takahashi, Ito, Haga, Inagaki, Koyama, the top 5. As you can see, there is this group that we are talking about. Rafi Topan down to 18, and Ahmad Fitri Ashrazali down to 10th.
Lapping time of around about 2:29.281. I think we've got another rider out.
There is Fitri, I think. I believe that's
Fitri Ashraf.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Gosh, that bike's going to need some emergency work on it. Hopefully, though, as indeed we're seeing, the rider has come away just with scrapes, and, well, he's more angry with himself than injured, I think, there.
It's back in front. It is still the battle between the top 2, Takahashi and Yuki Ito. And as for now, Takahashi is still keeping Yuki Ito at bay behind him. Although I must say the gap is less than a second between them.
But between these and third place Haga, even at the end of lap 1, it was 1.8 seconds. So this is going to be a race within a race. We're going to have multiple cameras because we've got this race going on, and then behind them we'll have Haga, Inagaki, Okumura and Koyama also in a battle as well. But let's focus on this. 12 laps to go. Takahashi, Shashi Bunsio, Honda racing. Oh, there's a moment, as you call it, and a great recovery from Yuki Ito.
That will give some sort of time for Takahashi to create a gap to be in front. Yuki Ito lucky to still be in the race, and there you go, Yuki Ito, and we will watch again how he almost lost control of his bike.
It's just as he comes out, it's the back end slipping. That is magnificent rescue work. Fabulous riding from Yuki Ito, because it's so easy just to let that back end go away. Fantastic.
Good control by Yuki Ito to give it his second place behind Takahashi, but he still has
it's only 1.26 seconds.
It's a long way to go.
Yeah, 1.26 seconds the gap behind them. Haga, Koyama, Inagaki has dropped down now to 5th. Amadou Destera is up to 6th. As, we're looking at Haga there in 3rd place. He is 3.5 seconds behind the race leader, only 2.5 seconds behind Yuki Ito in 2nd. Haga, well, you picked him out very early on. His experience to be very good, and he knows this track as well as anybody.
Yes, for Haga and the new team, the Kagayama Suzuki Asia, still trying to find the right tune for the team and also for the bike. For Haga to be 3rd in this race is quite good for this team, but watch out for Tomoshi Koyama and Makoto Inagaki. These two riders behind him can cause problem for Haga.
Yeah, you're quite right to mention the Suzuki. They've made a quiet entrance into SuperSports 600. We've welcomed them into the series, and not set the world on fire, but this is a solid performance coming from Haga, currently in 3rd place. He will find himself under pressure from Koyama and Inagaki, but this is the battle for P3. A little again slip there as we're looking at Koyama. Best lap of 2:29.348.
Yeah, Koyama, as you know, is a very aggressive rider, and he will push very hard behind Noriki Haga to be on the podium, because Haga right now is in 3rd place behind Ito and Takahashi.
Well, up front, you're seeing Ito is still in the wake of Takahashi. 3rd place Haga seems to be making a little bit of an inroad into Yuki Ito, but Ito, this is where he had his moment. He's got away with it, no problem this time round. This is battle for P3, and Koyama right on the tail of Haga, but these are the front two. Ito going through in 2nd. Haga is in 3rd. Koyama has indeed closed up the gap in 4th place onto Haga. Inagaki in 5th.
Yeah, Takahashi said the fastest time. Not surprisingly, because he's the rider in front without any spray in front of him. He said 2 minutes 27.937 seconds, and that's the fastest time. Way in front of Yuki Ito with 2 minutes 28.786 seconds right now. Well, you can see Haga, Koyama, and then Ahmad Yudhishthira up to 5th. Makoto Inagaki now down to 6th.
The gap between 1 and 2, 2.239 seconds. A little bit further down, this is Amadou Destera, who is in 5th. In fact, he's overtaken Inagaki, who's dropped down. He was 3rd at one stage, Inagaki. This is Udestera, though, on the Kawasaki, and he's ahead of Inagaki and overtaken him in the last lap.
Yeah, Yudhishthira won the first race in Sentul, Indonesia. He's had a good race so far here in Suzuka in race 1. Bike number 33 in front of Makoto Inagaki, and next for Yudhishthira is Tomoshi Koyama, but the gap is a little bit quite a gap between him and Koyama, but we still have 10 laps to go.
We've got 3 mini races for the top 3. You've got Takahashi and Ito for P1, Haga and Koyama P2, Udestera and Inagaki. This is the battle we're looking here for P5 as they come round under the bridge. Again, a slight little readjustment as you can see the spray. Well, whether you want to be right up close or give yourself a little bit of distance. But there's Inagaki going around the hairpin. Tentative. That's what an awful lot of the racers have been. Quite rightly so.
And then second behind Ahmad Yudhishthira from Indonesia. And still you see the gap between Yudhishthira and Koyama. It's around 3 seconds between him and the rider in the 4th place, Tomoyoshi Koyama. So that's the battle that we're looking at now. You can see the gap, a huge gap between Yudhishthira, Koyama and Haga.
Indeed, this is Inagaki, who's currently in P6. Up at the top end of the course, Takahashi and Ito are still racing through. Takahashi is lapping up, well, he's averaging 244 kilometers per hour in the last section. The grid wall, plenty of interest in Inagaki's performance.
There's a team of Yellowcorn Akino Speed Racing. And they also have Mark Atkinson, who is currently in the 10th place, and behind Hanran Shah Ramadno, in front of Taiga Hara.
Well, Takahashi goes through 2.58 seconds ahead of Ito. A further 4 seconds down is Haga, who's just ahead of Koyama by 0.5 a second. Yudhishthira is leading by a second ahead of Inagaki. Dimaseki 7th, Haslan Shah 8th, Akamura 9th, and Aitchison, as you said, is 10th with Taiga Hara in 11th place.
While to be 2.5 seconds in front is a healthy lead for Yuki Takahashi, even though we still have 9 laps to go. But for the SuperSports 600cc, 2.5 seconds in front is already good enough. Just no matter how long that he can stay there and to maintain the speed that he's doing, 2 minutes 26 seconds. So that is a great advantage for Yuki Takahashi. We keep on consistently doing in 2 minutes 26 seconds as compared to Yuki Ito, 2 minutes 27, Hara 2 minutes 28 seconds.
Well, Ito is dropping further and further behind. Whether or not there is a problem with his bike, or whether or not he's just being a little bit more conservative, realizing that Takahashi has got such a confidence. There you go. There is Takahashi going round. It is more than 2.5 seconds, that lead from Ito. Haga is in 3rd. Ito, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with his bike there, does he? He's just driving conservatively.
Yes, and behind Ito is a small battle between Haga and Koyama, and between these two riders, less than a second between them. And there is a battle for 3rd place, bike number 41 and bike number 71. As we are looking at the gap between the leader Takahashi and Yuki Ito in 2nd place, even though in early part of the race that Yuki Ito was right behind Takahashi before Ito had a moment, and now the gap is 2.58 seconds.
Yeah, we are 9 laps to go. We're not used to a procession in Asia Road Racing Championships, but such has been the quality of Yuki Takahashi that even Yuki Ito, somebody of his ability, hasn't been able to keep up with him so far. But it is, as you say, very early stages, and these wet conditions, anything can still happen.
Yeah, the team Petronas from Yamaha looking at Yuki Ito, what he can do with 9 laps to go here in this race. We still have plenty of time, but the thing is that the disadvantage for Ito Takahashi is still doing 2 minutes 26 seconds, and Ito 2 minutes 27 seconds.
The gap,
and the
up
gap
to
is
3
3
seconds.
seconds right now.
Yeah, and beyond them it's 5 seconds up till Haga and Koyama. Again, 3 races, but that is a battle for itself because Koyama is right on the back wheel of Haga. And it's whether or not he can push him into a mistake. That's what you suspect. Plenty of time. Haga, though, has got experience.
Well, it's only 0.3 seconds between these two riders, Haga and Koyama. And with 8 laps to go, it is interesting to see how the battle will end between these two experienced riders from Japan. And Haga would love to bring Suzuki on podium here in Suzuka, and Koyama is now trying to spoil the party for Noriyuki Haga.
He is indeed. Nice relaxed style though from Noriyuki Haga as he comes up to the Dunlop curve up at the top of the hill. Once again.
There's another rider down, and 8 laps to go. And as you can see, Anagaki improved position to 5th, Timas up to 6th, and then Hazacha up to 7th.
There it is now. It's after Ahmad Yudhishthira, so it's 9th place. Is that Okamura? And again, there's There's nothing in that. He's just slid off. It's like a skating rink, parts of the track. He has done nothing wrong there. He's just lost the front end. And hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to control the bike with this type of condition of the track.
Oh, Inagaki.
Inagaki, and it's number 18. That is Makoto Inagaki, who had a battle with
well, he was in sixth.
Yeah, he was sixth. He was sixth in front of Dimas Eki. So now Dimas Eki up to fifth with Hazan Shah also gain a place in sixth place.
Well, it just shows you that you've got to be careful, and that while Takahashi has a very healthy lead in excess of 3 seconds as he approaches the difficult chicane. Well, it's difficult if you're under pressure, but he's not under any pressure at the moment. Just has to be cautious. Sharp left into the home straight and just presses down, make sure his advantage is maintained as we come with 7 laps to go, and Takahashi is leading. Time of 14:45.329, the lead 3.4 seconds.
Yeah, the lead increased to 3.4 seconds. There was the only silver lining for Yuki Ito is that Takahashi is doing 2 minutes 27 seconds right now, and that is almost the same time of Ito as well, 2 minutes 27.8 seconds.
Ahmed Judastira has disappeared out of the reckoning as well. So Haga 3, Koyama 4th, Dimas Eki up to 5th, Haslan Shah 6th, Aitchison 7th, and Tiger Harder is in 8th place. Ahmed Judastira has dropped down to 12th. He obviously has had a moment or so because he has come through the start-finish line, but he's 34 seconds adrift. At one stage, Judastira was in 5th.
Yeah, Yudhishthira now down to 12th. Not sure what happened to Yudhishthira. The only thing is that confirmed Dimas Eki is now gained a place in 5th with Hazan Shah Mano is having a race of his career of the season as well with 6th place.
We're looking at Tiger Harder here, who's up in 8th place, lapping pretty quickly, putting pressure on Mark Aitchison as they come through at the end of Sector 1. Tiger Harder, another of the emerging Japanese on the T-Pro Uzi Honda.
That's the team of Tiger Hara. Looking at the young rider doing quite well on the track, 8 behind Mark Atkinson. And the difference is around less than a second between them.
Well, it's less than 0.1 of a second at the moment because he's pulled up. And I think he's going to take Aitchison as they come round the hairpin. Good aggressive riding coming there from Tiger Harder. Young kid though he may weigh, but this fella is going to thrill an awful lot of people throughout his career.
Yes, Haga now up to 7 in front of Mark Atkinson, and now in front of him is Hazancha Mando, bike number 23.
Well, we're seeing Mark Aitchison in that battle, but he was just eased off by Tiger Harder. That was very mature riding, and now he just needs to control it as they come round.
Whoa,
hey, that's exactly the corner that we were worried about. He needs to control it. Front end went, and the spoon takes another victim.
Well, too bad for Tiger Harder. Very unfortunate for the young rider for the T-Pro UZ Honda NTS. He's lost his control at the very corner that already you saw a number of riders lost the corner and lost the control of the bike here.
Going back
and
to
cost them their places.
Going back to how Ito rescued an almost identical back-end slip, that just shows you the quality of Ito. But Tiger Harder, he's got time on his side, but that will be a tough one to actually learn from.
Yep, so it's advantage for Okamura right now. Hazan Shah still in the 6th place. Dimas Eki Pratama is around less than a second between Dimas Eki and Hazan Shah. Muhammad No with Takahashi still.
Oh, Takahashi goes! Takahashi, he had to make sure he made no mistakes, but in these conditions, front end has just gone from him. Takahashi, is he out of the race? Yuki Ito now takes over the lead. The lead was 4.63 seconds, and Ito has overtaken Takahashi. Takahashi was on pole and now has got to get back onto his bike and rescue something. His shoulder's gone. He is not coming back to this race, and this is a nightmare for Yuki Takahashi, and Yuki Ito can hopefully take control for the race for Petronas Hongleong Yamaha.
As you can see, there's Yuki Takahashi coming from the right band and lost the control of the bike, while he was 4 seconds in front of Yuki Ito. Nobody is pushing him, but this type of condition of the track is difficult to say.
Well, there's a perfect reaction to what it means. Takahashi was so far ahead that is just a nightmare. But these conditions, we've said it time and time and time again, that anything can happen, and Ito's rescue from his back-end flip now becomes possibly a race winner. He's got to be careful. He's got a long lead, a big lead ahead of Haga. It's at least 8 seconds. He's all alone, Yuki Ito. Just avoid trouble for the next 6 laps.
Well, it's difficult to really say on this time in this kind of weather, the kind of track condition, as we saw on Takahashi and Yuki Ito, even though he has 8-second lead in front of Haga, is not guarantee him the win just yet, because we still have 8 laps to go.
I wouldn't guarantee anything in these conditions at all, but certainly if he is conservative, he will be in a good position as Yuki Ito comes across the start-finish line. Okay, the gap between Yuki Ito and I think it'll be Noriyuki Haga in second place is 7.52 seconds. Koyama third. We're waiting for fourth. I suspect it'll be Dimas Eki and Haslan Shah fifth and sixth. Haga second.
Yes, Haga now in second place. A great place for the Kagayama Suzuki Asia team, and behind him is Koyama. That's another thing that he has to look at. Is in less than a second, only 0.4 seconds behind Haga, and Dimas Eki in fourth place. Haslan Shah up to fifth with Mark Atkinson up to sixth. So that's the top 6 riders right now, and we have Yuki Ito is doing 2 minutes 29 seconds, and the rest of them is doing 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, this Haga-Koyama battle has been going on for about 5 laps now, and Haga has just been consistent, holding the racing line, trying to make sure there's no errors. But the closer we come to the finishing line, the more pressure he will come under from Tomoyoshi Koyama.
And we are looking at Koyama. He's keeping his place, just waiting, playing a passion game behind Haga, waiting for the right moment, because any slight mistake will cost him the race.
Well, in the previous lap, we saw real drama. Yuki Takahashi, who was a big leader, crashing out in these treacherous conditions. It's drizzly, it's wet, you can see surface water. What do you trust? Do you trust the line? Do you put enough pressure? Do you trust your bike? Do you trust your materials? The answer is no.
It's really difficult for the riders out there. They have to nurture the bike carefully, nurture the tire as well. And with 5 laps to go, of course, they have the longer time to be on the track, and then the more that they will lose the grip on the tire. And still the gap is almost the same between Haga and Koyama. There's not much difference between the 2 riders.
This is the battle for P2. Noriyuki Haga and Tomoyoshi Koyama way ahead of them. Out of shot is Yuki Ito. At the end of the previous lap, it was 7.5 seconds, as shown by there. But as we come into the chicane and the start-finish line with 4 laps to go, we will now be able to tell you exactly how far it is. Gosh, it's a long way. He's down at the bottom end of the straight, and the gap is 9 seconds.
That's how far it is, 9 seconds in front. Yuki Ito with Haga and Koyama still have their own small battle between these 2 riders from Japan. And Dimas Eki, there you go, 21 seconds behind Yuki Ito. It's around 11 seconds behind Koyama. Haslan Shah, Robando, this is, I believe, the best position for Haslan Shah this season, or in this ARRC, with Mark Edison up to 6th, followed by Okamura, Hikikori Okubo, and Anupop Samon in 9th place.
We saw a shot there of the Suzuki pit, and they'll be hoping that Haga can keep his experience, can keep his nerve, and can avoid any catastrophe. Oh, look at that! Oh no, that was Takahashi on his way back. Takahashi on his way back, letting everybody come through.
And we have Ahmad Yudhishthira still in the race, and now he is currently 10th. He was 12th at one time, so he gained 2 places up to 10th for Ahmad Yudhishthira, but he's 43 seconds behind Yuki Ito, who is now racing in front alone with I believe now is 10 seconds in front of Haga and Koyama.
Cautiously around the hairpin. Now they come to what must be the wettest part of the track. This is where most of the accidents have happened, and the accidents that are unavoidable because the back end has just gone away. Caution required as Haga comes into spoon. Carefully does it, as does the man behind him. There is the damage to Takahashi's bike, and that's going to take an awful lot of surgery to get that ready for the next race.
Which will be tomorrow, and still the gap is still the same because they are doing almost an identical lap time of 2 minutes 29 seconds, 55.4, 55.3 seconds in that sector alone. So for Haga and Koyama, one of them has to make, for Koyama is still there and about right behind Haga. It's like just waiting for any mistake by Noriyuki Haga.
He may be waiting, but he's not actually made a move as yet, Koyama, as Haga leads him into P2, 10.5 seconds behind the race leader, Yuki Ito, 10.5 seconds clear of this battle for P2, Haga and Koyama. As you say, it's a waiting game for Koyama in P3, Haga on the Suzuki in P2.
Koyama did not want to make any mistake at all at this time. With 3 laps to go, third place for Koyama is good enough to be on podium behind Haga, but of course he would love to be in second place in front of Noriyuki Haga.
Camera work picking up the spray that is going into the face of Tomoyoshi Koyama, and still he isn't making a move, but he's tracking him. He's sticking close to the back wheel. Obviously visibility isn't completely impaired when you're that close, but it'd certainly be preferable to be in front, which is where Haga is. This is the battle for P2. Further down, Dimaseki is 4th, Haslan Shah is 5th, and Mark Aitchison, this is an excellent race by the Aussie. He's up into 6th place, as still the tracking from Haga, from Koyama on Haga, carries on. There's their split lap times, and they're inseparable. Round the hairpin, it's still Haga leading from Koyama.
Now Koyama, his best finish here was 3rd last year in race 2 and also in race 1. He was on podium behind Tamada and Fujiwara, and Ito and Fujiwara in race 2, and now he's still in also at the same best 3rd place here in this race right now behind Haga and Ito.
Quite rightly, we're focusing on the race for P2. We have got a camera on P1 though for Yuki Ito, just in case something happens, as it did to Takahashi, because in these conditions you never know. They are so treacherous, as you can see from the spray. Whether or not they're wearing wet weather tyres or not, it doesn't really matter, because the tyres are degrading every lap.
Yes, with 3 laps to go in 2 laps after this, and the tyre degradation will play a part, and we start to lose a grip on the track, and this is when, if you push the bike hard, and you will start to lose the control of the bike, and it will cost you the race.
So there's Ito going through in P1. We can measure the time. He's out of the front straight before anybody else comes through. So this is another one where Yuki Ito has got this race to lose. 10.778. He's just keeping consistent lap times. 2:29.901 that last lap, which is a good time. It's quicker than just about anybody else on the track, but he's helped by having no spray. Haga 2nd, Koyama 3rd, Dimaseki 4th, Haslan Shah 5th, Aitchison currently in 6th. But this is your race leader.
And this is Yuki Ito going to repeat his win last year. He won the race here last year in race 2 after a great battle with Katsuki Fujiwara. For this time around, he's alone in front, that 10, almost 11 seconds in front of Haga and Koyama. Look as certain it's going to be a win for Yuki Ito, his first win of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It was this time last year at Suzuka that he started to make his charge towards a title charge that was unsuccessful in the end, but he'll be wanting to go one better this time. He's taking advantage of absentees. He's taking advantage of unfortune for Yuki Takahashi. He just needs to make sure he makes no more mistakes. He's got 1.5 laps to survive.
Yes, less than 2 laps to go And as we look at the race order, we have Haga Koyama in the second and third, and Dimas Eki still in fourth place in front of Hasan Shah. Muhammad No, they're 25 seconds, 36 seconds behind the leader, and it's very, very far. And so I think it is going to be Ito's race for him, as we can see with less than 2 laps to go. Yuki Ito is going for his first win. It is Hikori Okubo, the former runners-up of the inaugural Asia Dream Cup 2013.
Yeah,
racing,
that was the very first Asia Dream Cup champion.
Racing here as a wildcard rider.
He's currently in 8th place, some 37 seconds behind the race leader, and he's alone in 8th place. This is very unusual for this championship to have so many isolated riders, but such are the conditions that nobody wants to be bunched up too much. But this is Hikari Okubu. But the race leader comes through with the last lap now on. Yuki Ito, barring a catastrophe, will pick up his first win of the season. There's his lead. It's the whole length of the straight, and he is 10.3 ahead of Koyama, who's taken Haga.
Koyama now in front of Haga. As we said before this, he's in waiting. He's playing a patient game behind Haga, waiting the right moment. So this is the right moment for Koyama right now. He's in front of Haga.
Does Haga risk all and try to get second place back, or does he just be content with third place? That's the big battle. He had a little look on the inside coming up the snake, and now he's got openings. There are 2 more real places where he can have a pop.
Yeah, Haga will not let Koyama go out very easily in front there, so he will try his best to regain his second place. But I think with this type of condition, with the speed of Koyama doing right now, it's Koyama, barring anything happen to him, he will be second in this race.
Well, he bided his time, did Tomoyoshi Koyama, and while everybody was away watching Yuki Ito, he just came on the final straight just before the chicane to overtake Haga, and it's Koyama who's now stretching that lead as they come round the hairpin. Carefully does it. Haga closes in, accelerates up the hill, and now he's just got to negotiate the very, very tricky spoon curve.
This is going to be a podium for Noriyuki Haga with the Kagayama racing team. As you can see right now, the gap between, even though it's less than a second, but we can see the gap between these 2 riders. And this is where he will decide whether Koyama can keep his second place safely around the corner.
Very cautious.
So it's Koyama in front of Haga in the final lap of the race.
But this is Yuki Ito, the leader, coming out of the back stretch. He will now approach the chicane for the last time. It's a healthy lead of approximately 10.5 seconds, 10.3 at the end of the last lap. Carefully into the chicane, carefully takes the left, and now will accelerate down to the start-finish line. Yuki Ito will take the 600cc. That's his first win of the season. Behind him, Koyama and Haga are battling for second. Ito takes it.
Yes, Yuki Ito win his first race of the season. That will kickstart his charge for the championship title this season after a disappointment last year, losing the title at the very last corner of the race in Qatar. He was 10th before this in the standing, and I believe he will improve his position with the 25 points that he collected here.
Maybe it's the start of a charge. Koyama has picked up second, Haga third. Let's though spare a thought for Yuki Takahashi, who crashed out when leading, as Haga picks up points for Suzuki. That's a podium finish for him. And a second place for Koyama, who, as you say, was just waiting, bided his time, and took him on the penultimate lap to pick up a second place. Third place for Noriyuki Haga. It's Japan 1, 2, 3. Confirmation of the results. There's no investigation this time. Yuki Ito taking it in a time of 32 minutes 17.724. Koyama second, Haga third. Japan 1, 2, 3. Great results for Aitchison, the Aussie, in 6th place. Akubo taking 8th place in the Honda. and the Yamahas of Anupab and Akuro Tubasa in 9th and 10th respectively. Further down, Yudhishthira, who was in 4th place at one stage. Be interested to find out what happened to his Kawasaki. He fell away, came 11th. Mickey Blair in 12th. Iganami 13th. Yuki Takahashi, well, at one stage he was leading, but he will pick up no points for this. Neither will Inagaki, who was also in a race for a top 3 position at one stage. So 27 starters, only 17 completed the task. Well, we are at the Suzuka circuit. It's the home of Honda, but Yamaha have taken the podium and Suzuki on there as well. What a race we've had in race number 1. We have got more action coming your way on Sunday. You will not want to miss that, because we're told it'll be a little bit wet and rainy as well there. Handing out the prizes is Kazushi Aso, the motorcycle tyre department from Sumitomo Rubber Industries Limited, Dunlop.
And here is Noriyuki Haga, first podium for the team Kagayama Suzuki Asia. 3rd place, and was 2nd, almost 3/4 of the race. But still a good 3rd place for the team Kagayama Suzuki Asia. This is Tomoyoshi Koyama, started the race 7th on the grid and is finished 2nd in the race. Better his best finish here ever, his 3rd place before. And here is the winner, Yuki Ito from the Petronas Hongyong Yamaha.
That was a race where he could easily have crashed out himself on lap 4. It's very easy to forget the incidents, the skills there that saved him, kept him in 2nd place, kept him in contention.
Yeah, the skill that he has, the control that the magnificent control that Yuki Ito had with his bike helped him to stay in 2nd place before the mistake made by Takahashi. That gives him the winner of race 1, the SuperSports 600cc here in Suzuka, Japan.
So Japan 1, 2, 3 here in Suzuka, Japan. The Asia Road Racing Championship, the 600cc championship standings will look very intriguing. After this, we will show you them in just a few seconds' time once the guys stop posing for the pictures we'll see in the papers around the world tomorrow, and on our website and on our Twitter site. Remember, you can catch up with what's going on our Facebook. So here are the overall standings. Fadli Mahmoudin, of course, not here, still championship leader. Koyama moves up into 2nd. Dimaseki quietly up into 3rd. Takahashi misses a chance, he's 4th. Yuki Ito moves into real championship contention on 51 points. Zamri Barber, of course, and Jakrit not with us here today. Haga moves into the top 10 for Suzuki. Further down, Mark Aitchison, best result of the season for him in 6th. Barry Badrell didn't start today. Haslan Shah picked up points. Inagaki, he'll be frustrated. He hasn't picked up more points, as will Tiger Harder. We were with him when he went off at the spoon curve. Kubo in 19th position on 8 points. Down to the tail end, Fitri Ashraf, who started off in pole position, not pole position, he started off near the top of the grid, 5th position.